Welcome back to Chapter 1, Part 2, Task 5. In this task, we'll be configuring Data Center 2. Most of the tasks or the requirement of this data center is very similar to what we have been done in Data Center 1. So during this task, I'll try to be silent. I'll try to configure the nodes and speed up the video. And in case any node I have to mention, I'll just slow down and mention the node. So reviewing what is the requirement of this task, we need to configure an aggregate Ethernet interfaces on each of the QFX3 and 4 and 5 individually towards virtual MX3 and virtual MX4 that will be forming MC lag. We need to configure an aggregate Ethernet interface in each of the QFX3 and 4 individually towards the server, downside towards the server. We need to configure an aggregate Ethernet interface back-to-back between QFX3 and QFX4, and we need to use a VLAN tagged sub-interface of VLAN 50 for the ICP connectivity, and here is the IP subnet. The IP subnet is using /31, and we need to enable IP version 6 in this VLAN as well. For the MC lag, we need to configure MC lag between MX3 and MX4 towards QFX3 and 4 and 5. For server VLAN 100, we need to enable VLAN 100 end-to-end from QFX3 and 4 over the MC lag interfaces towards the QFXs, and from the QFXs down and from the QFXs we need to configure VLAN 100 upwards towards the MXs and downwards towards the server using a VLAN tagged interface trunk with VLAN 100. We need to configure an IRB interface for VLAN 100 in QFX3 and 4, and here is the IP addresses that we need to use. And we need to use a VRRP where virtual MX3 is the VRRP master, and here is the VRRP parameters that we need to enable the authentication, and we need to enable the VIP address to respond to ping packets. At the end, we need to establish an OSPF version 2 and OSPF version 3 between QFXs and the core nodes, and the OSPF to advertise virtual MX3 and 4 loopback addresses, and we need as well to advertise the IRB VLAN 100 for both version 4 and version 6. OSPF version 2 and version 3 links should be set in the point-to-point mode. OSPF version 2, version 3 shouldn't be enabled in the IRB interface, which is IRB 100. We'll do the same as we did in Data Center 1 to use a redistribution of the IRB 100 interface inside OSPF. Just let's review the diagram. So here is the virtual MX3 and 4. There will be an aggregate Ethernet back-to-back, and we have the ICCP will be here, and then we have an aggregate an MC lag between QFX3 and 4 towards each QFX. So this link and this link together will be forming an MC lag from the MX point of view, and will be forming normal lag from the QFX point of view. The same will be applies for QFX3 and 4. Then we need from QFX3 and 4 towards the server, we need to enable lag interface here, VLAG interface here, and then normal interface here. Then we need to enable VLAN 100 over all of this interface. So VLAN 100 will be going through from the server towards the MX3 and 4. Then we need to enable another VLAN, which is VLAN 100, where there will be a VRRP between MX3 and MX4, and then we need to enable OSPF towards the core and redistribute the IRB interfaces towards OSPF. If you remember from Data Center 1 as well, we have the same, where we have an OSPF towards the core and we redistributed the IRB interfaces towards the core. Okay, so from MX3 and 4, we need to see the subnets which is coming from the IRB 100 here. We need to see this IP subnet here and vice versa. And at the end of the task, we need to make sure that the server in Data Center 1 will be able to reach the servers in Data Center 2. They are in different VLANs, but there is a routing in the middle. So we have a routing here. This part have a routing. Okay, and through this routing network, we should be able to have a full reachability between servers here and the servers here. So in this part, for a certain reason, the OSPF neighborship between virtual MX3 and virtual MX4 is not getting established over IRB interface 50. So actually the configuration for initial configuration for virtual MX3 and 4 have been provided as a part of the JNCIE self-study bundle configuration. So let's troubleshoot the issue. So for certain reason, both of them couldn't establish the OSPF adjacency. So let's see. Here is the configuration of the loopback interface. So if you can see here, the same configuration of loopback interface is being used in both nodes. And this is kind of, it looks a common mistake that have been intentionally done to introduce an issue during the lab exam. So to solve this issue, just we need to change the configuration of the virtual MX4. As you can see here, this is 192.168.1.0/24. It is the IB subnet that is used in data center number 1. Now let's start to ping end-to-end from the servers in data center 1 to data center 2 and vice versa. So by having this full reachability between all servers in data center 1 and data center 2, so all servers here can have a full reachability to all server here, both for family IB version 4 and family IB version 6. So this task is considered to be done. Thanks very much. Hope you see this chapter is fruitful, and I would like to know your feedback if you have any, and see you in next chapter. Thank you very much.